like to reintroduce Allison McKee.
I don't know if you fully get how proud faculty are of you and staff. I mean, I don't know if you really get it, because we're the ones who are grading you and we're the ones who are giving you tests and doing all that stuff. But today is, you know, it's this day that chokes me up. I don't have kids, and so I don't think of you as my kids at all, but I don't. One thing, you're grown up. I only ever met you when you were grown up, you know, so it's not that. But there is the sense of pride, I think, that everybody feels watching you go out the door. And you really are an amazing class. This is a really amazing year. So know that. And I'm here to introduce the Valedictorian, who has achieved the highest GPA of all of you sitting in this room. And I'm very proud to introduce him. I first encountered him in a couple of my classes, and Professor Drew Todd and I often were trained in similar ways, and we often joke with each other, except that we're not so much joking, is that this person has seen more film than we have. And we're kind of not kidding. So he's a cinephile in the true sense of the term. This is this classic term that translates into a lover of film, but he has seen more film than God. I'm talking more directors, more eras, more national cinemas, and he has a passionate love for it. And so I'm pleased and proud to introduce to you Kyle Worthington. Woo!
Early in the evening, so I don't mean to bring everyone down with this, but my name's Kyle Worthington. Most of you know me, the film people know me, and for those of you who've known me the longest and known me the best, it's very surprising to see me up here, because I didn't want to go to college, and I didn't have any interest in school in high school, but my parents told me what I'm sure many of your parents told you, which is get a job or go to school. And I figured that of the two, the one that would cut into my film watching time the least would be school. So here I am. I cut this down substantially, so consider yourselves lucky. But when I was, after I transferred here from Foothill to San Jose State, I spent here 3 years, and then they told me that I was going to give a speech. And like any artist, I was thinking, how do I subvert this? How do I turn this into something else? And I wasn't joking either. And so I came up with something, and basically, this is responses to 3 types of common advice that you get at ceremonies like these, according to me. I've been watching a lot of John Lydon videos to prepare for this, so bear with me. Okay, so we're going to go into it. I'm going to try to do it by memory, and I think I can. So, choose your friends wisely. That's something that you've heard since childhood. Choose your friends wisely. And I emphasize the word wisely because we can feel that we just want to be friends with people who could build you up. And that's true to a certain extent, but at the same time, whenever you're considering ending a relationship, you always have to ask yourself, why was this person put in my life? Because they may rub you the wrong way, but do you know if they come from a broken home? Or do you know if they come from an abusive home? Or do you know if they have been betrayed so many times in so many friendships that they've built this facade and act very irreverently and in an unkind way at times. You have to ask yourself, are you going to be the anchor for them, even if it's not always pleasant to show them that they can believe in unconditional love and trust? Or are you going to be potentially the breaking point where this person can look at you and say, okay, mature people that like my parents or whoever, they don't hold you up, they let you down. So keep that in mind. Always keep in mind, if you're considering ending a friendship, is it genuinely unhealthy, or are you taking the easy way out of not working on a strained relationship? Number 2, believe in yourself. That is what we've heard from the very beginning. Most of us, believe in yourself. Well, I'm going to give you an analogy. Let's say you have a favorite chair that you like to sit in. You can believe in that chair. You can believe in the brand name. You can trust the person who gave it to you. But when you sit in that chair, none of that belief is going to hold you up. Only the legs of that chair are going to hold you up. So you have to ask yourself, how are my legs doing? Am I the type, and this sounds harsh, but am I the type of person at this point in my life who's worth believing in? Have I developed and matured myself that way? Because the biggest lesson you will ever learn in life is not self-confidence, it's humility. It's the humility to learn from other people. And that's what I've done. I've tried to do, I'm working on it. And people may tell you that humility is mutually exclusive with the idea of self-worth, and that's not true. It's not true at all. So that's my second big piece of advice. And then the third is follow your dreams. We've all been told follow your dreams. And when you bring up dreams, that makes things tense, because that's the one thing you're not supposed to. Don't mess with my dreams, man. But here's the thing. What is a dream? Like a literal, not a figurative dream, a literal dream. What your life and your actions communicate to your mind is what's communicated back to you in your dreams. And I feel it's the same for figurative dreams, goals, and fantasies. So are dreams inherently, intrinsically good things? Now, not that I'm suggesting anything, but if there could be someone here whose dream is to be a social worker, and there could be someone here whose dream is to be a white supremacist. Now, are those morally equivalent? I don't think so. So from that, we can assess that dreams aren't inherently good. There's more responsibilities. And if that's true, then we need to be the type of person who grows and lets their dreams grow with them. So there's nothing wrong with having dreams, but make sure that you are the type of person who has good dreams. I'm sorry if this is a bit of a downer, but hey, it's something I wrote, what can I tell you? So, adding on to that, I wanted to quote Biden and say, anger is an energy, but it's not a good one. It's not a healthy one. And we can get very passionate about what we do as artists. And I cut a whole section of the speech for the sake of the tone of the evening, where I was going to talk about the corruption of this industry. Because that's how I feel about it. But, and it's true. I want to quote Bob Rafelson via Arnold Schwarzenegger real quick. stay hungry. And stay hungry because the food tastes better that way. And I say it with humor, but at the same time it's serious. If you sell out, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It'll feel worth it for a day, for a week. As it goes on, it will not be worth it. You'll become accustomed to it, you'll be numb to it. The only thing that's going to give you a satisfied life is integrity. Okay, well, I have to consult this because that was what I cut. I wasn't supposed to say that. So getting back on track. Okay, this is what it is. So, getting back to seriousness. Don't be angry. It's very easy to be angry, but don't be angry. If there's one message I want to give, and it can be ambiguous in my work and some of the things I say, but the main message is to just try and learn to love each other properly. And I don't just mean this ecumenical thing, well, all the white people and black people, men and women and gay and straight people should love each other, that too. But I mean the guy at the end of your block that you don't care for, or the person who drives you up the wall politically on Facebook, or an artist who you think genuinely is doing harm to our culture. Don't make excuses, just love each other unconditionally. Doesn't matter if you're an artist or an entertainer or if you're in business, there's no hierarchy. Just love each other. And I think that's the end of the heavy part of all this. I think all that's left is to thank a few people. And this, I've been looking forward to this. I didn't have the same experience that many of you have had. I was homeschooled through high school, and my first experience in public school was college. And thusly, my mother was my teacher for pretty much my whole life, up until college. So I'm gonna ask her to stand up. Stand up, Mom. I love you. Okay, you can sit down. And I also want to ask the principal of my school to stand up, and that is my father. Stand up. And you too. Okay, I should really wrap this up. I thought I was going to close. I didn't realize this was before everything else. But I just wanted to say real quick to thank San Jose State faculty, and especially, I don't want to name everyone because I'm going to miss someone and feel terrible, but because he's not here, Drew. Drew is, I've TA'd with him for a year, and he's, like Allison said, they consider me quite a cinephile, and I would feel the same way about Drew. He is one of the biggest cinephiles that I've ever met, and I love him dearly. And I also want to thank the faculty, in addition to San Jose State, of Foothill Community College, which is where I first went to college. RJ and Kristen, I thank you. And I wanted to thank, I'm sorry this is going on so long, this is almost done. I wanted to thank 7 people who had a huge influence in my life. I want to thank Orson Welles for being an anchor to my existence. I want to thank Akira Kurosawa for being an old friend. I want to thank Ingmar Bergman for teaching me that it's okay to put your soul on the screen. I want to thank, let me look at the list. Bergman next. Oh, of course. I want to thank Jean-Luc Godard, the biggest influence on me as a thinker, and the biggest influence on my early work, even though we don't agree on much, in a way. Lars von Trier, my beautiful friend, beautiful boy, I love him. Krzysztof Kieslowski for being the one, and that's for you, JP, if you're here. And Stanley Kubrick. 3 more short things and then I'm gone. So, I would be remiss if I didn't make this last thanks. I know that we come from a very diverse background here. That's what makes San Jose State great. And I know that many people here did not get this far with a Christian faith. But I'm not one of them. I did get that far with my faith. So I need to thank I wasn't expecting that. I want to thank, literally, thank God for me being here. I want to say to the faculty and to my friends and family here, but most especially to you guys. And also thanks to the 80s. I love the 80s. I see one of them. I just want to say sincerely and genuinely, I love you guys.
Love you, Kyle.
Love you, Sean. Love you, Josh. Love all of you. And that's not an I love you man moment. That is person to person, I love you so much, and I'm trying so hard to keep it together right now. I do love you, and I know I'm not always the best friend, but I try to be, and I do love you guys, and I'll always be there for you. And that's it. It's not as dramatic as I thought it would be, because I thought this was going to end everything. But so I'll just say one last thing. And this is the last thing. I just want to say my last words at San Jose State, except for later, I guess. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mark Chitalo. Good night.
I don't know if Dr. McKee mentioned it, but the dude got a 4.0 out. Not easy. Of course, he didn't take any classes from me. We are coming down to the end of it now. We're going to present our graduates. I'd like to ask the members of the faculty to please join us on stage. Come on up from the wings. The lovely Laura Long is going to distribute certificates. Come on up. All right, ladies and gents, before we introduce the students, I'd like to really thank my colleagues for all of their tremendously hard work during the course of the year. All right, we have one student graduating who has actually been a teacher to a number of you. We have a number of students who are graduating with their master's degrees this year, but Joel's the only one who showed up to the ceremony. So we are very, very happy to, we're very proud of our graduate students who not only have accomplished what the rest of you had in achieving an undergraduate degree, but were crazy enough to want to come back and do more and expand their horizons and to deepen their understanding of the field. And Joel has certainly done that and really produced some fabulous research and comported himself incredibly well through our graduate program in a kind of struggling time. He did great. So I would like to introduce Joel Abrams as the first graduate and recipient of the master's degree. Come on up. Get this, but when you student, you get hooded, right? Which I guess is sort of like getting pinned, right? But nothing romantic, right? So, Joel.
People right here, thank you very much. And thanks to Mari, who helped me with my application, even though it was 2 months overdue. And a big thank you to Mike Adams, who helped me out every day since I stepped foot on this campus. Karen, Edwin, Peter, love you guys.
All right, we'll now present our first group of graduating seniors. First out of the chute, you've already met him and heard from him, Kyle Worthington.
Hi again. I don't really have much more to say. I just wanted to repeat the line that I cut from the speech that I like the most. I was going to use an analogy about how we feed the culture food, spiritually speaking. That's our job in the physiology of the culture. And we have the choice to either feed them crap or feed them Kubrick. And I was proud of that line. So that's it. Thank you, Mr. Mark, again.
Troy Higmeyer.
I would like to thank all my fellow graduates, my family and friends who are in attendance. Unfortunately, there's one person here who's not here today that I know would have loved to have been here, and that's my grandmother. Unfortunately, she passed away December 12th, 2014, but she is most responsible for me standing on this stage here today. So this one's for you, Grandma.